in continuation with the properties of ROC, till now we have find out ROC for the left-handed sequence, ROC for the right-handed sequence, and ROC for the both-handed sequence. Next is for ROC for the right-handed sequence, we conclude that the ROC will be mod of z greater than mod of a. We see the example also that xn is equals to u of n. In that case ROC will be mod of z is greater than mod of 1. Next property says that for left-handed sequence, we already seen that the ROC will be mod of z less than mod of a. We have seen the example also that xn is equals to u of minus n minus 1. In that case ROC is mod of z is less than mod of 1. Let's come on to the next example that xn is equals to a raised to power n u of n. Find out the z transform for this particular equation. Now in the question we can see that we have a term u of n. U of n shows its value is 1 for n is greater than equals to 0. Therefore, when we find out the formula z transform by using the formula, so the limit varies from 0 to infinity just because of un and its value is 1. So limits are 0 to infinity a raised to power n into 1 into z raised to power minus n. Now x of z will be equals to a raised to power n z raised to power minus n. Try to make the complete raised to power n always. So summation is 0 to infinity a z inverse raised to power n. Open the values of n. So we have a z inverse whole raised to power 0 plus a z inverse whole raised to power 1 plus a z inverse whole raised to power 2 up to a z inverse whole raised to power infinity. And this is what a infinite GP series, and the sum for infinite GP series a upon 1 minus r, where a is 1, r is a by z. So finally z transform will be 1 upon 1 minus a by z with mod of r less than 1. Here r is a upon z. So mod of a by z is less than mod of 1. So finally answer is xz is equals to, if we solve out the numerator part and denominator part, so we will get z upon z minus a with mod of z greater than mod of a. We already seen that for a right-handed sequence ROC is always mod of z greater than mod of a, and here a is a raised a only. Let's come on to the next example, that is minus a raised to power n u of minus n minus 1. Now we all know that u of minus n minus 1 will be 1 for n is less than equals to minus 1. So the limits for this question will be minus infinity to minus 1. Find out the z transform, that is xz is equals to x of n, limits varies from minus infinity to minus 1, as we see the part u of minus n minus 1 z raised to power minus n. In the last question I also recommend that try to always make the complete raised to power n. So x of z will be equals to minus infinity to minus 1. You can take the minus outside also, so a inverse z whole raised to power minus n. So if open the value, put out the values of n, so we will get we have minus outside the bracket a inverse z whole raised to power 1 plus a inverse z whole raised to power 2 plus a inverse z whole cube, and so on up to infinity. This will give me the GP series again, whose sum of GP series will be a upon 1 minus r. A is first term, that is a inverse z upon 1 minus r. R is again a inverse z with mod of r, a inverse z less than mod of 1. We have minus sign also complete outside the bracket. So x of z is equals to z by a upon 1 minus z by a with mod of z by a less than mod of 1. If we solve the denominator and numerator part, so we will get x of z is equals to z by a upon z by a minus 1 or z upon z minus a with mod of z less than mod of a. As we seen in the properties of ROC, for the left-handed sequence, we always get the ROC mod of z less than mod of a. We have one alternative method to solve this question. Previously, we see that z transform for u of minus n minus 1 will be z upon 1 minus z with mod of z less than 1. If we use second minus sign outside this equation, we will get minus u of minus n minus 1, and z transform, we already solved this question that we have z transform is z upon z minus 1 with mod of z less than mod of 1. Now For this particular question, we have statement, we have sequence minus a raised to power n u of minus n minus 1. That means we have z transform z upon z minus 1 in the previous question. If we multiply the sequence with a raised to power n in the z transform, we have changes with z will replace by z by a. So, we can directly write it z by a upon z by a minus 1. In the ROC also it will replace z by a. So, z by a less than mod of 1. So, you can say that answer for this question is z transform is x of z is equals to z upon z minus a with mod of z less than mod of a.